Today we're going to install the Iron Cross Hardline bumper on this 2019 Ram 1500 new body style. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so we've already got the bumper removed off of this truck. If you want to see how that happens, check it out. We've already made a video on that as well. Now, we're going to go ahead and turn our attention to the driver's side bracket for this bumper. Now, this, of course, is a monstrous size bracket. Quickest way to identify it, the hole on the inside of the bracket will be offset to the bottom. The bracket is also going to kind of point towards the center of the vehicle. You see these three holes right here, the elongated oval holes, are going to line up to the three holes that the factory bumper was attached to. So what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and grab some hardware. What we're going to have is a supplied bolt with a flat washer, followed by another flat washer and lock washer, and then fastened with a nut. All right, now with all the other hardware set to the side, what we're going to do is take the bolt with one washer and fit it through from the back. Now this is going to be a very tight fit, so we're going to have to wiggle it through. Doing this for all three of the factory holes. Next, we're going to go ahead and take our new bracket and line it up to those bolts, slide them over top, and then take flat washer, lock washer, and nut, and put everything on hand tight at this time. We don't want it too tight because we still have to be able to adjust the brackets back and forth. And once we're done with this, we're going to repeat the same process on the passenger side. All right, next what we want to do is we want to measure the outside of these two brackets inside the bumper. We're going to take that measurement and make sure that it is not wider than where our brackets are. Now, these brackets do adjust in and out, and we do want to get them as centered as much as possible. We just want to make sure this opening is wide enough for this to fit in. Once we bolt them together, it'll draw the brackets together and we can do our adjustments from there. We want to make sure we have the clearance for that. Now is a great time to go ahead and install any kind of lights that you have into your bumper. Okay, so I've gone ahead and lined up all of my lights. I have not aimed them yet. We're not going to do that until after it's already on the truck. Now I want to go ahead and draw your attention to your main sensor harness. I've already got this pretty much installed. I want to show you guys essentially what you have to do to get it installed the way it is. Now, this sensor right here, I have not installed into the bumper. A couple of reasons. Number one, I have to extend the lines in order to get it far enough to where it installs. Number two, I also want to show you how to pull that sensor off, because in order to fish this harness through both these holes going through the gusseting and the bumper, you have to pull the sensors off in order for them to fit. Just make sure that when you do that, remember what orientation and what order those sensors come off in, so you can put them back exactly the way they came off. Now to remove the sensor, this is driver side 2, so we got 1 and then 2. I'm going to go ahead and pull that tape off and set it to the side. Next, this sensor has a little clip on there. You pop this portion out with a little flathead screwdriver. You can push down on that and the plug comes right out. Next, what we'll do is we'll pull apart the plastic and push the sensor out of the plastic. Make sure you retain any of the rubber gaskets that come off the sensor. Make sure they stay in place. We're going to take the housing exactly the way that it lines up to the sensor and slide it into that hole. Once it's snapped into place, we're going to take that sensor and slide it into the housing and allow that to snap in place as well. Okay, now on this center sensor, on each side, what I've gone ahead and done is divided the wires and extended that harness so that I have enough harness to reach where our sensor is. Now, one thing that you're going to have to do in order to connect those is take and turn that sensor so that you can attach the harness. Once that clicks into position, lock it in place, and then turn that sensor again. You'll have to kind of pry it down to where it gets captured underneath the bumper itself. And then rotate that into place. Repeat that on the opposite side. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and mount this to the truck. The main brackets are going to slide this way on the outside of the gusseting inside the bumper. So let's go ahead and do that now. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to lift up the bumper and we're going to slide it in between the brackets. So this gusseting right here is going to slide right up alongside the bracket. We've got 3 holes in the bracket. They're going to line up with the 3 holes in the gusseting. We're going to have some hardware exactly like the same hardware we attached the brackets to the frame with. We're going to start with a bolt and lock washer, going to come through the bracket. Then that is going to go through the gusseting. Then we'll follow that up with a flat washer, lock washer, and a nut. We'll get everything lined up and hand tight first. Then we'll do our final adjustments and tighten everything down. Okay, so I've already gone ahead and taped off the surface of the truck so that we don't have to worry about bumping and scratching the paint. Let's go ahead and pull it in place. Okay, so we went ahead and attached the bumper to the brackets, got all the hardware on there kind of loose, just kind of snug. Now, because those brackets have to be a little bit wider than the trusses on the bumper, what we did is we went ahead and tightened down the brackets to the bumper. That drew the brackets to the bumper so we can make sure the bumper was centered side to side on the truck. Once that happened, I went ahead and tightened down the brackets to the frame. Next, what I did is I loosened up the hardware holding the bumper to the brackets. This way I can adjust the bumper up and down and in and out on the truck and get it all lined up. Once it's lined up, I'm going to use some friends to help me keep that lined up, as well as a floor jack. Once it's all lined up, we can go ahead and tighten everything down, bumper to the brackets. All right, now that we've got everything aligned up and down, front and back, we're going to go ahead and tighten down the brackets to the bumper. And of course, we're using the 3/4 inch wrenches to get this tightened up. And obviously, we're doing this on both sides. All right, now we're going to go ahead and reconnect the main harness. Now we can go ahead and tie everything out of the way and wire up our lights. The Iron Cross Hardline bumper is now installed. You can go ahead and aim your lights however you'd like. If you have any questions, call the experts or visit us online.